Hi, my name is Udo's Lender. Welcome to my YouTube channel about adventures in astrophysics.
The investigation of the future evolution of the Cartwheel Galaxy yields a surprising result, which is presented in this video. It results from an N-body simulation with about 40,000 stars and 360,000 dark matter particles under the influence of mutual gravitation. N-body simulations are a means of exploring dynamic processes that cannot be directly observed in the universe. The timescales are far too long for this. For the approximately 100 billion stars in a real galaxy, there is no danger of collision even in the course of billions of years. In contrast, galaxies crash among themselves much more frequently, as countless examples show. This sometimes results in nice-looking symmetrical structures, such as rings, which impress us here in the object ARP-147. Such collisions can also be studied well in the computer, with so-called collision-free N-body simulations. Today, the immense computing effort is handled by modern graphics cards. The CUDA programming language, which was specially developed for this purpose, allows the strong parallelization of the trillions of computing steps that occur here. The two NVIDIA high-performance cards used provide more than 8,000 CUDA cores for this purpose. More details can be found under the link at the end. N-body simulations are a subfield of computational astrophysics. Fast computers and sophisticated numerical methods have allowed great progress in these areas in the last decades. Some time ago Udo had modeled a collision between two galaxies in the computer, in the course of which a ring was produced, which shows great similarity to the Cartwheel Galaxy, 500 million light-years away. It is located in the southern sky, in the constellation Sculptor. The simulation is shown on the left, the original on the right. Recent investigations come to the conclusion that the two nearby small galaxies were not involved in this collision. The intruder is rather considered to be the galaxy further up. A central impact, some 100 million years ago, left the ring and a spoke pattern inside. Here again the ring, the spokes, the central galaxy, and the troublemaker several 100,000 light-years away in the model. The question immediately arises: what will become of it? How do these conspicuous structures develop? Two scenarios are considered for the answer. In the first case, the impact partner departs on a hyperbolic orbit without ever returning and the first galaxy with its ring is left to its own devices. In the second case, the kinetic energy of the intruder is not enough to escape. It turns back. In one or two more crashes it will merge with the other galaxy and the prominent ring structure. But here, a surprise awaits us. In the first case seen here, the gravitational forces destroy the ring, several new clumps are formed. These remain for billions of years as a new-born galaxy group. As you can see here, single stars perform an elegant dance in this chaos. They remain bound to the largest clumps. Their orbits form complicated epicycles over time. The second case, that is the one in which further collisions occur, begins here, after the interfering galaxy has already completed most of its fallback. The simulation is occasionally paused and rotated to study details of the complicated dynamic events. If you want, you can also pause the video at any time. Simply press the space bar again and it continues.
Further details about N-body simulations in the video about the formation of elliptical galaxies, which I link at the end of this video here.
In one plane, a beautiful ring seems to form again. If you turn the world 90 degrees, it still looks a bit bent. What would you see if you could rotate the galaxy NGC 4650 on 90 degrees to the right or to the left? Some observers will immediately notice a certain similarity with Hoag's object. Should something so perfect be able to emerge from all this chaos? Hoag's object is an extremely rare ring galaxy. It lies about 600 million light-years from us in the constellation Serpens Caput. The inner, yellow nucleus is 25,000 light-years in diameter, comparable to the nucleus of our Milky Way. The outer ring of the Hoag object is with 120,000 light-years, also as large as the diameter of our galaxy. It was discovered in 1950 by Art Hoag, who first identified it as a planetary nebula, which is obvious if you compare it with the well-known ring nebula M57. Unlike here in the simulation, there is a large color contrast between the blue ring and the yellow core area. But this can be observed in many spiral galaxies in the same way. At places where gas is found in cold molecular clouds, there is star formation, so here in the ring respectively in the spiral arms of the normal halotypes. In the core regions, mainly small, old, cool stars are found. Much about this object remains unexplainable. First of all, there is the emptiness between the two areas. No stars, no gas is to be found here, differently than we saw it at the beginning with the Cartwheel Galaxy. Also, the ring does not seem to expand, as the one in the simulation shown here does. For an explanation of the formation by a collision, one would have to find a troublemaker. One could only speculate that it is hiding just behind the yellow central region. There are ring galaxies that resemble Hoag's object, but all have differences, such as traces of a spiral structure, or a core that has a bar, or is elliptical or disc-shaped. None of them have a ring perfectly separated from the nucleus, and the other properties just enumerated. To this day there is still no satisfactory explanation for Hoag's object. Nothing works completely. Here a collection of quite unknown ring galaxies from the Sloan Digital Sky Survey. With an improbability that cannot be topped, a Hoag-like ring galaxy appears in Hoag's own ring, at about 1 o'clock. The Hoag object is so far away that its apparent width is less than a tiny minute of arc. That exactly in this area of the sky such a similar object can be found makes us wonder. For the comparison between the computer model and the real object applies. Nothing is crazy enough not to exist in the universe.
Don't miss my video about the formation of elliptical galaxies from merger events. Also don't forget to subscribe to my channel Adventures in Astrophysics, and give me a thumb.